Who's the best guest you've ever had?
Oh wow, wow. Um, I love Ted Rubin. Ted Rubin's probably one of the top marketers in the world. He wrote a book. What was it called? How to look you in the eye digitally, was it? Anyway, Ted has just got a fantastic ethos, values, culture. He's amazing. He spent some time with Seth Rogen.
Seth Godin.
Seth, yeah, he used to work at New York with Seth, and he would get in early apparently. So then Ted did as well, and he would just sit next to him and just soak it all up, you know. So Ted was amazing. Jeffrey Moore, who wrote Crossing the Chasm, quite a well-known marketing book. I spoke to Jeff; he was pretty cool. I like Adventurous Steve as well, and that's just me being self-indulgent. I love to people to tell you how they got through,
Have
the
you
trials and
seen
tribulations.
or tried the Jason Fox Wild Tales podcast?
I have, yes,
Sponsored by
yeah.
Talisker, as he always says.
Talisker, yes. Apparently it's sponsored by Talisker.
He doesn't stop mentioning it. But anyway, but actually I met Foxy at this, it was an oil and gas event, and he's, I'm 6'3", but he's a big kind of guy. But I love, he's very genuine. And when he asks his guests about their adventures and stuff that they've done, like, because he kind of understands it, but then likewise he'll break it down into layman's terms for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I love it. But again, it's a way that it gives you to live out adventures, and he talks to people that went through, sailed across the Atlantic on their own or whatever, and you kind of get to live it for that 40 minutes. And
yeah.
and this is again one of the big elements of communication, is the fact that you can hear the tone of voice and the storytelling and the funny anecdotes and stuff that you don't get in books, in written word.
I think one of the ones that always stands out, actually, James is a friend of mine now, and he wrote the Ultimate Triathlon because James did row the Atlantic single-handedly, cycled around the world and climbed Everest. The
Wow.
Ultimate Triathlon, and James is just inspirational stuff. And I think when you hang around, if you like, you probably heard the average of the 5 people that you hang with. When you include people like this in your network, you quickly realize, well, I certainly did, that I really haven't done much. So now it gave me a little push to do things. So I'm always setting myself goals because I'm inspired by others. So it's, I love meeting people.
Because what's also fascinating is when you kind of dig into the stories and you kind of connect with them and whatever. Many of the adventurers didn't make any money. They did it because they were passionate about it.
Yeah,
But back to the point of what you were saying about at the start, it's when you really find your passion. It's got nothing to do with how much money you make. And it's just if you have an interest in fun life and good stories and good banter. And back to Wogan. Wogan had some of the most underappreciated banter of like the 80s and
Oh,
90s. I loved him.
absolute legend. If you ever seen him on Eurovision, my word, what a humorous guy. Fast.